It's been said that the head of state is merely a figurehead, nothing more than that. They don't have the power to change government or to change any legal...
Which head of state?
Well, the head of state for Australia, whether it be the Queen or whether it be a president in the future. It's merely a figurehead and doesn't change the nature of our government. How do you feel about that? Well, is it just that the monarchists just want the Queen, or is it just that they want a British head of state?
Monarchists just like the system the way it is because it works.
But the system being the government and how we rule, because that's not going to change, is it? I mean, it's merely the figurehead.
Well, yeah, because under the Politicians' Republic proposal, the Prime Minister can sack the Governor-General any time he likes, which he can't now. And so therefore no Governor-General will be able to really tap the Prime Minister on the shoulder and advise him about anything. So the system we have now is the Governor-General's a little bit distinct. It's a little bit harder to sack him than it will be, but he'll be completely gutted if we vote yes for this referendum. There'll be no stopping the Prime Minister. He'll just be able to take over.
Right. So what would you say to those, even particularly the younger members in our society, that would be swayed towards yes, but it's just the model that they're concerned about, whether they should totally disregard the whole thing or whether they should...
Yeah, the model's really dangerous and they should vote no to keep it out.
And that's purely because of the way that the president would be elected?
Yes, it's a really bad system. Worst of all is how the president will be kicked out, which he certainly will be if he tries to perform the system we've got now of an objective review of the Prime Minister.
But would he still have to be sacked by the Prime Minister if there has to be both parties agreeing?
No, he can be sacked just by the Prime Minister in a couple of minutes.
So they don't have to get 2/3 majority.
No, not to be
That.
sacked. Yeah, that's one of the most worrying things about this.
All right.
Yeah, the Governor-General will hardly be a head of state at all. In fact, of all the heads of state in the world, he'll be about the weakest, most puny, pathetic head of state in the world.
Okay. And do you compare our system of government to, say, other countries in the world with the monarchy still in charge? What do you say to people in Britain, perhaps, as Andrew mentioned earlier, that the monarchy's popularity isn't what it used to be, and perhaps they're looking to...
The thing about the monarchy, it doesn't have to be popular, it's just there. I mean, popular things come and go. The monarchy's there, and the monarchy's really good because it goes on for centuries with no troubles. We haven't got our own monarchy, but we're really lucky to be able to participate in a really fair dinkum
humdinger monarchy. What is it that you really love about... So what is it that you really love about the monarchy?
Don't know, actually, because we like the ancient traditions, we like the historical stability, we dislike the look of most republics in the world, and maybe we can get a bit of fairy tale romance in our lives, which Republicans are really annoyed about. They hate it. I mean, why can't they just lighten up?
That's an interesting one. But what about all this trouble with Di and Charles? I mean,
they have babies, and it'll take over. We know exactly who we're going to get. King Charles, King William, and so we know what we're going to get. Unlike politicians, we know what they're pretty clued up. They've been doing it all their lives, and their families have been doing it for generations. The Queen knew Winston Churchill. We've got continuity with the past there. Right. We've got real familiarity with the world as a whole. The Queen's also really well plugged into Europe. We're really a bad idea to cut ourselves off from friends overseas.
So you think that connection with Europe is through Britain, and we've got that? It's a much stronger.
Yeah,
just explain that a little bit more.
Well, Britain's is getting closer to Europe, as they traditionally have been, going back 1,000 years or so, and so we can do okay out of that. We should have close friends with all sorts of countries, but we're closer with the constitutional monarchies, like this business in East Timor. I mean, we've been in a bit of trouble, so sing out for the Yanks, and they take a week to come, but that's fair enough because they're friends. They're not family like New Zealand and Britain. I mean, they're there straight away. And this is evidence, it's not theory.
So you think by becoming a republic, what we're doing is getting further and further away from Britain, and we won't expect that big brother policy or the mother
getting further away from
covering us.
From 10 or 12 pretty similar countries to ours, Canada and New Zealand, and with no good reason. And I don't really care what people overseas think, but the Republicans do. But I think they're mostly wrong, and that we're doing pretty well the way we are, and we should just leave it. We won't be Australia if we vote yes to this referendum.
Don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Certainly ain't broke.
Okay.
There's nothing better.
Okay, thank you, Cecil. Well, now you've heard the yes argument and the no argument. We're going to give Andrew and Cecil both 1 minute of reply, and to summarise their basic argument, arguments. So first we'll start with going back to Andrew, and he'll have 1 minute to summarise his argument, and then we'll go back to Cecil and we'll talk to him about his right of reply as well. Okay, let's start with Andrew. Andrew.
So, Tammy, I will say to the people, reject the lies and the scaring that's been put to you. Let me give you the lies and the scaring. They said we'll be moving away from the other constitutional monarchies. We won't. Indeed, they will all be here in Melbourne in 2006 for the Commonwealth Games. They say the President can be sacked. Well, the President is sacked in exactly the same way as the Governor-General is now. Another way they're trying to lie to you. They say there's nothing wrong with the Governor-General, but it doesn't matter what they say. The Governor-General wasn't allowed to represent us in Switzerland, in China, or in the United States. And it doesn't matter what they say. 2/3 of a majority in Parliament will guarantee that it's not a politician that will be President. It will be one of us, one of you and me. He said to you that the Succession Act in England has changed. It's another lie. You don't even need to believe me in that. You can check it. They're thinking about it, but they haven't changed it. It's just another lie. And they talk about, for example, someone not born in Australia not being able to be president. Another lie. The Constitution is clear. You just have to be an Australian citizen. And then he turns around and starts telling you people are going to pay off the Prime Minister and pay off. Do you really believe that?
Thanks, Andrew. Well, there you've heard that summary. We'll go back to Cecil for his 1 minute reply. Okay, Cecil, off you go.
Well, it's just a matter of who you're going to trust, isn't it? You're going to trust, slick, well-bred, well-educated people who have all sorts of theories, or you're going to trust just ordinary blokes like me. It's we got Australia the way we've got it. We've had it going pretty well for a while. No other country anywhere around the place is anywhere near as good as the way we've got things here. Are you going to take the risk? Are you going to vote yes to this politicians' republic? Are you going to let the whole country fall apart like it may well do? We can't say it won't. There's no evidence that this country's going to hold together if we say yes to republic. There's ample evidence that we're going to be okay if we vote no. So make sure you vote no in November.
Cecil. Well, you've heard both sides of the argument. The yes republic with Andrew McLeod and no for the monarchists with Cecil Murgatroyd. Now you decide what the best answer is for Australia, and we'll see you at the referendum on the 6th of November. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. Good night.